its offense, but it was the D that did it again for New England. Is Stephon Gilmore the player of the year? We'll discuss. And Aaron Rodgers says his team gets no respect after a critical win against Chicago. Should the Packers be considered the team to beat in the NFC? We'll answer all those questions and more on a Monday edition of Get Up. And we are ready to roll. McAfee and Rex and Dan are with us, and we are ready to hit it. He's got the bolo tie.
Huh? I'm all in on the Cowboys.
Cowboys
Just
now.
a little sneak peek. I'm a Cowboys fan all of a sudden.
The kiss of death. That's the kiss of death.
So let's say this. Things could literally not have started worse for the Cowboys than they did yesterday. And we mean that in the most literal sense of the word, because this was the opening coin toss. Walt Anderson and Dak Prescott.
It is heads. Dallas has won the toss.
Go defense. We want to kick it. Kicking it that way.
You want to kick?
We defer the second half. Yes.
Okay, you're going to kick.
Yeah.
So Walt Anderson initially decides that means they're not deferring, they're kicking. They were going to kick in both halves. That eventually got changed. We'll talk about it. In the meantime, Dak Prescott, Jason Witten, what a catch.
Yeah, Witten preferred to make this catch with one hand. Look at him reach behind him, stick that right hand up, secure it to his chest. And we never see Jason Witten spike after a touchdown. He did on that one.
7-0 Dallas. Todd Gurley would score to tie it. Next Cowboy possession. Look at Prescott buying time and finding a wide open Tavon Austin.
This is a big time play by Dak to make sure that that free runner, that unblocked guy, never got home. It's man-to-man coverage. The Cowboys, Tavon Austin and Jarwin do a great job of getting the Rams defenders to run into each other, frees up Tavon Austin, but the play doesn't happen if Dak isn't special.
So it's 14-7, but here's the play that really changes the game. It's 21-7, late in the half. Jared Goff trying to get some late points, and he does, but for the wrong team.
Well, if Sean Lee doesn't get it, Jalen Smith is going to. It's just a forced throw. It's zone coverage. He had the tight end underneath. It's a forced decision, and Sean Lee made him pay for it. And then you see some of that old man athleticism after the pick.
Oh, I resent that. Finally, on the ensuing position, Cowboys, Goff would have a hand. He'd stay in the game, but candidly, it wouldn't matter because they would turn that into this from Zeke.
Well, on the line of scrimmage, this Cowboys offensive line owned the line of scrimmage. Then you saw some physical run by Zeke.
They ran for 263 yards. This was the win they needed.
Just what the doctor ordered to get you out of the whatever you're in. And I must say, I guess I'm going to have to get me a new corn flip collar out there. But no, seriously, really proud because that does renew the team's confidence in its work, and this one was richly deserved and came along at a good time for us.
Momentum is a dangerous thing, and it's about getting it on our side, and we've just got to build off tonight. Simple as that. We're still not where we want to be. We haven't necessarily peaked, but we're heading in the right direction, and we've just got to continue to build and get better.
Rex Ryan, primary takeaway from a Cowboys win they desperately needed.
Well, first off, I mean, we know they had this kind of performance in them because they're so talented. But do I really believe in this team? No, man. I still think it's fool's gold. Even though you got the bolo tie,
Come on.
I'm not buying it. And this is the same team that lost to the Jets. You know, we've seen this team go like this all the time. Yes, do they have the potential to play like this? They absolutely do. So we'll see.
Okay, so you mentioned the talent. Dan, why did it take so long for us to see this Cowboys team? And what does that say about Jason Garrett? We'll get to your bolo tie in a second.
If I was a fan, this would be the game I'm most mad about all season. This would be the game where I could justify firing Jason Garrett because what took so long? What took this kind of performance? It took till week 15 to have it. I think the biggest takeaway for me in this game is it wasn't just feed Zeke. It was the way Zeke ran. Like he ran with urgency. He ran with a purpose. And it kind of affected the whole football team. You saw this offensive line block with a little bit more of a purpose. You saw this defense play with a little bit more of an urgency to them. So this was about Zeke, but just the effort and the style he ran with was my biggest takeaway.
I am so excited that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East and have a home playoff game. No questions about it. Not only have they invested $700 million in the offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott, and now Pollard's getting loose, but Dak Prescott looked good. He was not only a game manager, he had like a 123.8 passer rating or something like that. But if Jason Witten's going to continue to pull rabbits out of his head, Tavon Austin is going to continue to be explosive, and Jason Garrett is going to be able to motivate these boys to play in these playoff-like games, the Dallas Cowboys could be getting hot at the right time. And when it comes to Walt Anderson being a miserable human, we will have more about that. But for me, Dak Prescott's only mistake yesterday was that coin toss situation with Walt. And for me, the Dallas Cowboys not only are going to win the NFC East by blowing out the Birds next weekend, they're potentially going to win the entire Super Bowl just because that's how I feel.
Well, you did take us there, so let's go there. Walt, why are you looking that way, Mr. Ryan?
Come on, I mean, they're not going to. They're going to be one and done in this thing. We all know it, man. There's no. That's the only thing they're consistent.
Cowboys Eagles next week is the game of the year. No.
Yeah, no game of the year.
Yeah.
This to me. I mean, when I look at this type of thing, this is a pillow fight. It's a pillow fight, Greeny. You've got two horrible teams going at it. Who cares who wins?
Listen, don't knock a pillow fight. It's the only kind of fight I've ever been in my entire life.
You win?
All right, let's get to the bottom of it, though. Let's get to the beginning of it.
Yes.
Because the NFL listen, I've been watching football a long time. The NFL had to step in and change the result of the opening coin toss because Dak Prescott did not use the verbiage that Walt Anderson was looking for. Pat McAfee, your thoughts?
So I bet 500 in coin tosses. I always call tails. It failed for me one time, so I won 1 for 2. But this is just a standard operation. This is Walt Anderson trying to make it about himself. He knew what Dak was trying to say. It's just let it happen, let it be, and move forward. And by the way, the NFL gets a lot of things wrong. And I think they actually got this one right. We move forward. And maybe after 6 decades of officiating and ruining games, this could be the final straw for Walt Anderson.
Yeah, Walt Anderson, hey, I tell you what, man. Me and him, oh, no, we never liked each other right here. But why? Because this guy's so smart. Look at you, Walt. Way to make it about you. Are you kidding me? You hear the kids say, yeah, we want to defer. And then we'll, kick it, we want to defer. Like, come on, dude. Hey, no, I'm going to show everybody how smart I am. Hey, good for you, Walt. I know you're a dentist. Man, no way in hell am I going to you.
He is.
That would be
I'll take a cavity over Walt Anderson.
I'm not
Dig it in my mouth.
Walt, you're not my favorite. I lost every game I think he